Hello, people. I'm Sino Varghese.
And I'm Jennifer Daniel. This podcast is where we bring our life experiences, have conversations, and shine a light upon everyday mysteries.
From mysteries of this world to the mysteries of ourselves, we talk about it all. So get your coffee, get your tea, sit back, and let's unleash our inner wisdom.
Welcome to Casually Wise. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 8 of our podcast. In today's episode, we have with us Vishakha. She's a sustainability writer who's turned into an entrepreneur now, and we are very glad to have her with us on today's episode. So, we warmly welcome you today, Vishakha. Would you like to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Jennifer and Siona. Thank you for having me here. So, let me introduce myself. I am Vishakha Vidani and I run a boutique sustainability company called Aviana. So, the reason I started Aviana was because I was a sustainability writer and I was aware of what things are going around. I wanted to contribute towards, more like sustainability, and hence I started my own business. And it's been a year, like quite a ride, but yeah, we've come up with quite innovative ways to make, daily choices more sustainable. So yeah.
And the first year, 1 year anniversary was like last Saturday or something, right?
Yeah, it was
So
when our
congratulations on
teaser
that.
came out. Thank you.
So when we look at sustainability, this is a concept which I've listened a lot in my science books, and it's not something I have a lot of experience in. That is why I looked up on the internet what is the actual definition for sustainability. So I'm just going to read this out. So sustainable is an adjective for something that is able to be sustained, or something that is bearable and capable of being continued at a certain level. And so hence sustainability is something is a process of keeping something at a certain level. So in what I understood out of this definition is that there is a resource and we should save it from being depleted from a certain level. And it's you have something, you receive something, and it's your responsibility that whoever gets it next should get it as how you would like it. If you wouldn't like half, you wouldn't like something half or something incomplete or something not well preserved. So that is your responsibility when you are for someone else. When someone else comes in your place, they should receive the entire thing. They should receive a proper complete picture of it. So that's just a very vague explanation. What do you guys have to say about sustainability?
I think what I understood from the definition of what your explanation was literally how to have a balance on things that you use, not to overly use them or use them until they get over. Like right now it's all about petrol and diesel and all of those things, and also a lot of natural resources, I cannot remember some, but a lot of natural resources are getting depleted. We'll get into it, of course. But yeah, and I've heard interviews of a lot of people who are much older to us, 80-year-old, 90-year-old, and who was no, they have a lot of they used a lot of these resources already for a lot of things, and now we are kind of trying to bring a balance to it so that we can also use and let other people, our future generation, use it too. But because of the whole fast fashion and everything to get quickly, we want even Swiggy, Zomato, we want everything quick. We want everything as it is, preserved.
fast for us.
Exactly. To when I order ice cream or whatever it is, they give me and all these.
Quick, right? Right now we all want quick, instant.
Exactly. And we don't understand because of this time efficiency, we're actually how much we are using these resources, for each and every person who uses, especially during COVID times. I think even when the nature was healing, we were kind of slowly killing it at the same
Still
time.
worried about our own problems.
Exactly.
So I have a very simple definition to sustainability. So basically, sustainability is about creating a world where we can thrive without harming the planet and other living beings, and making choices that ensure that our future generation also have a quality life. It is an emotional as well as a personal approach, right? So it's about being conscious about using things on our everyday basis, and also showing your love and care towards your planet also, so the future generation also has it all.
Makes sense. So in our we have learned a lot about saving our environment, and what small steps we can take to prevent overuse, or to to promote how do we promote sustainability on our end. What are the small things or practices which you guys do in your daily lives, which can promote sustainability?
So to be honest, we can start with small things, just everyday things. You don't have to do big great things always plant trees just to be sustainable. Yeah, of course you can, you should, but you can take everyday necessity steps, use EV cars, use metros or public transport, because that reduces your carbon footprint. And then you use products that are reusable, like a bottle. Don't waste plastic bottle buying it every time. Keep your own bottle, keep your own dabba, keep refilling things. And yeah, it's pocket friendly also, to be very honest, and being sustainable and caring for the planet as well, using products that go back to the earth and does not end up into our landfills, like a bamboo toothbrush or a neem comb, or things that are actually made out of chemical free products, so they don't only benefit you but also the planet.
Also, to not use as much as processed foods as there are processed foods, like even yippee, Maggie, aloo bhujia, all of these things. I think all of them made out of plastic, and it's actually not even good for you. All of these things have sugar in it, and that's what keeps it addictive. So even if you feel like, oh, this is aloo bhujia, it's very chatpata something. It's not chatpata. There is sugar in it.
We don't realize each packet or something we buy, the packaging is all about plastic, right? And that also after what we eat also goes into the landfills or into the marine life, and which is really terrible. The condition right now is very bad. So there's one interesting.
And I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
So there's one interesting thing. In India, only 5% goes towards recycling. So it's the situation is not that great,
And and just a small example, if I can give. So suppose if you're at a cafeteria and you have just eaten, and you have, it's paper plates or paper cups, and instead of leaving it on the table, you can just get up and put it in the dustbin. Sometimes people don't remember to do that much, and then a third person has to come and clean up after you. So even those small steps,
You just feel superior. You just want to feel superior. Even at those places, high-end places or whatever, you need everyone to come and give you, pick up the spoon for you, pick up the bottle for you. You want everything and anything to be handed down to you. And these, to live in your own comfort zone is what's ruining the whole humanity, I feel like. It's a very big claim, but that's what I feel like.
Yeah, it is, right? Because at the end of the day, we are using all the resources. Animals are being extinct. Marine life is into super duper, all the coral reef, if you've seen, the corals which are down, they've bleached, they've turned white. They should be colorful, right? But they've all turned white. And so, I was reading one of the articles. It showed that those plastics, when they are dumped into the marine life, and they become small plastics, right? Because of the waves, they break into them, and it goes inside the marine life. And what happens is, it sometimes it just comes out from their body, but many a times it gets stuck, which, starves them to the death. Or what happens is it cuts their intestine, affects their body, which is, such a big crime. And microplastic is one of the things that's there like everywhere, like those small plastics. It's there in our landfills, but even in marine life, it's highly impact. Like there's a huge impact of it.
When you say microplastic, like what exactly does it mean?
So microplastics are, so you have a big like a bigger piece of plastic, right? But it breaks and breaks and breaks, and they become into those tiny size of plastic, right? Okay. Which is present, like, even in clothes that are synthetic. Indirectly, it's like, those microplastics are there. So microplastic is something that goes inside, which is really like tiny bit, but it really affects even our life, even marine life, or even life of other animals.
Isn't it inevitable though, because everything in our environment is created out of plastic now? I mean,
Everything.
If you take like smallest of the things, if you notice in your day-to-day life, we realize we have so many things that are plastic. And plastic is what? It's like at the end of the day made of chemicals, right? So, even if like there was one case study where it said that, even a mother's breast milk was containing microplastic, because at the end of the day she must have had it something which goes to her baby, right?
Oh my God.
So, yeah, the content of microplastic isn't that, that big impact.
Yeah. And if someone wants to move on to like a better lifestyle, for example, like minimalism, or like just to use less products and just wants to start a clean slate of a lifestyle, but they're still stuck at home with their old plastics. So like this is like a question with a lot of dilemma, I feel like. It's like, do you want to throw it away and buy new sustainable products, or like use it, still keep using plastic, but with the guilt, like these are still plastic and I'm not using anything sustainable. So like, how do we sustain them?
I think let's all agree that, most of our Indian houses will have those plastic bottles which have been there, the Tupperware bottles, or, those plastic bottles are there. But I think maybe we can slowly, not at once replace them, but slowly, like, after some point it becomes old, right? So instead of buying a new plastic, we can buy, products that are more eco-friendly. Like, now you get products made out of cork, glass is still better because, for the bottles, or you use, any other alternative, but slowly you can, phase out plastic from your life, which is very difficult. And, one of the best ways you can see your usage of waste is like keep a jar, and each day, whatever plastic you use, say a wrapper, say anything of plastic you've used, you can put it in the jar, and maybe after a week you would realize how much waste have you generated by your own self, and think about like, how so many other humans would be generating.
So all these environmental issues that we've been talking about, how fast do you think the earth is gonna die before like we make change?
So, see, I don't know how fast we'll die, but one thing is the level that...
we can do, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is like the way marine life is, the temperatures have increased there, plus the global warming, like, the temperatures all over have gone like high, like, the climate changes, they're super hot. So, it's time like we start, taking care of the planet. So, I don't know when it'll be like boiled down, but it is in a phase that, now it's time to act. And, on an individual basis, we can do small steps, choosing more sustainable life, and, being conscious about while buying, and being minimalistic. Like, we all have that fantasy, right? We see this and we feel like, acha, this I wanted for myself, this dress, even if you have thousands of pairs, you would still want, I need a new pair, I don't have anything to wear. So maybe start recycling old clothes.
Yeah.
There are people who buy clothes and it's in their closet with tags on, like who never have even opened it. Yeah.
Correct, never used. So, maybe we can just give it to people. Like now, these new things have started happening where you can, you can give your clothes to people and they, make it new, and it's like a thrift sale where, now people have started trying to, accustom to this thrift sale kind of thing, which is actually better. Usually what happens is, at least for ladies, I can say, is that we wear once, twice the clothes and we're like, I'm done with this. I've worn it so many times. So, if we are not wearing it, maybe someone else can wear it, right?
Also notice that we have that idea of we can't wear one outfit like more than once because of social media. Because my grandparents have no issue wearing the same outfit again and again and again. They're like, bro, I have the same clothes for the last 20 years. I still never had to buy more than needed, and I still use the same thing because I'm not doing fit check every other day, so I don't need to do it.
I think the entire concept with our like millennials and Gen Zs, like our entire life is on our social media, right? So whatever we do has to be posted on social media. We have to show people that we are the coolest people. And
Exactly.
yeah, so in that bargain, we are losing like so many things, like, And even like one new concept also started coming is like now people, like older generations, the quality of materials used to be so nice in terms of clothes, right? The fine quality that they used to wear. So maybe we can start recycling their old stuff and create new things for ourselves, and at the end of the day, stop filling our landfills.
That makes so much sense because I love doing stuff with my clothes.
Yeah, it becomes new also. You get that kick also ki, I bought something new, like I made something new and it's made of fine quality material, plus it's not like you're doing something vintage, correct, and plus it's pocket friendly also.
Yeah, for sure. And like I was mentioning you before we started recording, right? Like about this fast fashion documentary that I saw. So apparently to make like one jean pant, it takes tons of water, tons and tons of water. Even for leather jackets, it takes a lot of water.
Plus, to make like hamburgers or, having meat in general also, like when you say about fashion also, plus food, when we go towards that also, like why they want many people to go vegan is also because a lot of water is being used, like, and even for like, so there's so many things about jeans is like, to make a pair of jeans, so many tons of water goes.
And like I've seen like there are like mounds of clothes, just like hills and hills of clothes in like some Africa, in an area in Africa or something, because that's where they drop it, and the people who live in those surroundings use it. Yeah, but it's just like websites like Shein, Urbanic, Fashion Nova, all like they see these outfits on celebrities and they're like, now everyone wants to wear that clothing. So, quickly they make it using all these materials which are very hard to, not pure organic cotton or khadi or something like that, like things which are not, yeah. So it's just, and everyone wants to wear like new outfits, like we said, like fit checks and whatnot. So it's just like you have so many outfits, so many clothings, and like and everything's about the era that's happening right now. So now it's like Gen Z, so all the Y2K outfits are coming back. But like we have the stock always, we should always buy something that's classy, that something can be paired with like as many clothing as you can and never goes out of style. So you always have clothes to wear, and you can make as many outfits as you want.
Yeah. It's true. And the irony is like one chunk of, people have so much to spend and so much to wear and they still feel like, more is less. And the other, when you see on the hindsight, the other side of the people, they are living in poverty, they don't have clothes and they're just living in a very bad condition, the poverty, like below poverty line. And they don't have access to even like proper like one pair cloth, like clean pair of clothes.
That's why like this concept of sustainability is so important, so that we provide resources to everybody.
Everybody, like, it's accessible to everybody, not just like the top class or say middle class, but also to the people who are living, in below poverty line, who are like, in terms of food also we can see, right? There's so many restaurants, we just throw food and come and we feel like, okay, we ate a lot, and we see outside road where people are actually, starving, and those little kids, if you see outside ki, you give me some food, you give me. So maybe more when we see in or get deeper into sustainability, world will have like more equal opportunity also.
That's where I have a question for you, that you created a sustainability business around sustainability. So what was your motivation behind it? Like, what inspired you?
So, to be honest, so I come from Nepal. So I've always lived in the Himalayas where, the air quality is so much far superior. It's more greener. So when I got married in Bombay, and, I used to be like, the air quality is like not the one. Of course, Bombay is city of dreams, but still, it's like, it's polluted, right? The air quality is very bad. And then you see those heaps of garbage all around the city, and it used to make me think, like, why can't we have a proper disposal? Or, why our landfills have to keep filling? Why can't we have more chemical free lifestyle? And plus, if you see those garbage pickers, they have to literally from their bare hands segregate the garbage, and it's not fair on any human. It's like they're just picking without thinking about their health and hygiene. So that was actually one of the reasons that made me think, because at the end of the day, if somebody's segregating your waste, like, why not have chemical free things? Like, or at least things that are more natural and more biodegradable. So that was the idea behind it.
Yeah, that's really wonderful to know. Like, and the way like people, some business practices are like not really ethical. I feel they pollute the environment more. So to hear about your intention behind starting your company is like really great. So what are the products you guys create?
One more thing I wanted to add actually. So, when people say about business is always about making profits, but there are certain businesses which are actually running with the value of care. So, you actually build a product which, eventually will show maybe profit, but it's way more, the value that they want to create is way above than just earning profits. Like creating a better society, a better community where, things are more available, more accessible, and plus, having products that are meaningful and not just made out of plastic that's not good for your health, plus not even for the planet. So that was also the idea behind Aviana. And now I'll tell you in just like what products that we do. So we basically try and do products made out of neem, bamboo, coconut and cork. So we have our bamboo toothbrushes, bamboo bottles, bamboo diaries, now we've come up with diaries with recycled paper, and then coconut cutleries. So those shells which are just discarded, so we make beautiful bowls out of them. And then we use cork also, like leather is harming the planet and the animals, so cork is something super cool, and it's vegan, it doesn't harm the planets, and it's long lasting and water resistant. So these are the 4 categories that we do, and in between we have a lot of products that we make out of these things, like cork laptop sleeves, pouches, wallets, and coconut, the entire range, like a coconut teacup, phone holder, not just bowls that everybody thinks, but a lot more than that, keychains. So yeah.
As Mallus, just listening to coconut being used to the very extent is like, it's so like, I don't know, it's just like blowing our mind. Yeah. And like I saw those coconut bowls on your website and I'm like, I need to have them. They look so good. I need to have them.
Thank you.
It's pretty amazing, like how you guys are making such planet friendly stuff, and it's something that I would really like to have for myself as well. It's not just as a way of like saving the environment or being sustainable, but
But for yourself also.
yeah,
right?
it sounds very interesting to me, like to have a bowl made of coconuts or like to have a diary made of bamboo. Like it just sounds so great, and it has an additional benefit that it saves, it's sustainable. So sounds amazing to me though.
And I'm glad like you have this company where they are selling it on an affordable prices. These are not like, very high and expensive, because what I've noticed in some cultures, like especially in Western areas, all the like people who are in the millennial kind of this thing, they do have minimalistic, sustainable lifestyle. Like, they do have their houses and villas in Bali and stuff where they have all these things happening. But those are all again for their own aesthetics rather than like saving the earth or whatever. Because they have a house in Bali, then they have a house in LA where they have the same plastics.
They have multiple houses.
So different personality in every country. So it's just like that. And like then you see only rich people can afford this, to see that, bro, like there are people, indigenous people who still uses this technology of coconuts and cork and neem and all of these things. Should be inspiring, because anyone, even middle class people who think Tupperware is the savior of the day, should also use this.
So you know what? That was the perception behind my pricing also. So when I was making my, products, I also kept in mind that, it should be accessible to everybody. Not just like, a general consumer mindset is as such that, oh, this is eco-friendly. मतलब तो ये बहुत expensive होगा, मैं इसको afford नहीं कर पाऊंगी. So they don't even bother looking at it or the benefits. So we have kept it in a very minimalistic and a reasonable pricing where even normal people, the common people can afford it. It's not something so super expensive ki, it becomes an aspirational product. No. It's something that everyone can buy and, have maybe chemical free life at the end of the day. That was the entire goal for it.
I think the intention matters. It's the most important thing that matters behind starting a business. And like your intention behind starting Aviana also sounds like really on the it sounds true. Like you guys are actually concerned about the environment. It's not just to show that we are eco-friendly or do we have eco-friendly practices, but like actually taking a step and doing something about it, starting a business about it is like, it's not just a small deal. It's a great effort which you have taken from your end. And I think like all of us, whether we own sustainable products or not, like I think that is the future. As we are moving towards this whole climate crisis, I think we will all have to start using eco-friendly practices, use like electric vehicles. I think that will become more of a trend in the coming future, and we will have no other option.
One interesting fact I'll tell you, like India's 48% of the cities are more like, they are more than the times higher than the baseline of air quality, WHO's air quality. So, the air quality is really bad. So if we don't start being more conscious about things, then it could really I think Delhi and Bombay is facing major air quality issues.
I think during COVID, Delhi was also selling oxygen in cafes, So it's like unbelievable. It's like still happening. And I think now I heard in the news scheme, Delhi was first for this whole highly polluted city in India, but now it's Bombay.
Now it's Bombay. Yeah, Bombay has gone over it. Like, I had noticed it a month back or something. The air quality was so bad. You could not see, like, my house is, you couldn't see other buildings properly. Like, the air quality was really bad. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that, but yeah, the air quality was very bad. One of the major reason being was, the construction that was going around in the city. That was one of the major contributor. And plus, of course, Bombay is like filled with people and transport. So it has to be like, crazily populated and polluted.
Yeah, I mean, we are living in this world, and it's like literally we have to do something to live in this environment. And yeah, so sustainability is the only, I think, one of the most important things which we can do from our end. So is there anything you guys want to share, one thing to the listeners about how they can be sustainable, or something, any takeaway, or any takeaway you have from this session?
I think maybe, our olden concept, like our roots of India, has always been towards sustainability. Like, we've always been the ones in our ancient times using, natural things. Like, even I think our grandmothers and all used to use that concept of Datun, or say Ayurveda, using natural things for yourself, hair and skin, or even medicines. So maybe one takeaway could be like, use as natural things as possible. So they are lesser, they don't have much chemicals. Plus also respect your environment and be conscious, like what you're buying. Like, just what, each person, if we all do that, it'll have a huge impact on the environment. So maybe start using things that are, that has lesser chemicals, or maybe chemical free. Like, that's the ideal situation, but be conscious.
Yeah, very thought provoking. And it's like not only good for yourself but for your environment also, because you're producing less waste. And like I would say that whenever you're using some resource, just use it mindfully. Even like anything, like consuming any kind of fast fashion, fast food, just be mindful about how you're using it and who might be next, who might need this resource,
and where it would go. Like, you're eating it, and where would it end up? Like, in the landfill or in the ocean? Where? Matlab, if we are a little, thoughtful about that, it'll make a major change. And I one of the best examples I would want to give of packaging, like a natural packaging, is, how nature has created a packaging. Like, if you see a banana, you peel it off, it goes back to the earth, and you eat the thing, right? So maybe the concept of packaging should also be the same. You have a packaging, because at the end of the day, product is important. Equally, your packaging is also important.
True. I think nowadays, couple of shops that I have ordered stuff from, they give me stuff in boxes or like in papers that have seeds in them, or even like books. Yeah, even the diaries I have right now are like things that have seeds in it, and I keep reading which seeds are there. So like, if I'm done with it, just throw it in your backyard, or like wherever you want to remove the seed or whatever, and just grow a tree. So you've done like whatever karma you've done by using plastic, it's like kind of solved by putting a tree on.
Yeah, but we all have to go into a deeper end to it, I'd say. Like, each one of us.
Yes. And I think it's a circular thing. I mean, not just you want to be organic and have a healthy life does not mean you cannot do it alone. You need to have a sustainable life. You need to have a minimalistic, sustainable, organic, vegan life to have a healthy life. Yeah. You cannot just choose one. Like, okay, sustainable, but like what in sustainable?
It's all interconnected. No?
Exactly. Yeah. So what we're doing right now, like a lot of our generation people, especially I'm gonna address the Gen Z people, they know sustainability is there, it's out there, but they're very scared. Like, guys, what about my comfort? Like, what about if I want to do something and I'm so comfortable right now? I don't think I can ever live without it. I think I'll die if I, don't have that resource. So I think we need to understand there are people who've lived before us who didn't have it, and they've lived an amazing life, and they lived
Much better quality of life.
yes, and to a higher age. Like, they didn't die around 60. They might have died at 80, 90 and stuff.
Real life also.
Yeah. I think this podcast has given a lot to think about and a lot to put into your own lives, like, yeah. So, like, I think we can end at a good note about, like, what can be the first sustainable steps that we can take, like, tomorrow morning or tonight, whatever. So, what are the steps we can take, and then make sure that we continue taking them, because of course we can't just do like one day, right? We have to make sure it's a continuous
It has to be
process.
consistent.
Yeah.
So, what you can do is you can start with replacing your plastic toothbrushes with bamboo toothbrushes. Instead of using toothpaste paste, those tablets come, right? The toothpaste tablets. So they're as good as the toothpaste. So the waste that's generated, yeah.
What I use charcoal to brush my teeth.
Oh, that's the best, that's actually, the best. And, we can try to accommodate things that are reusable in our lives, like a bottle, like take your own bottle and dabba everywhere. Use clothes that are, cotton or linen, and which are lesser in synthetic or no synthetic at all. And yeah, use coconut bowls instead of plastic bowls. And yeah, anything that can minimize your use of plastic in your everyday day-to-day lives.
And since you run a business around this, where can our listeners actually buy the products which Aviana sells? Is there any website or anything?
Yeah, so we are, we have our own website. It's www.aviana.in, AVYANNAA. So yeah, aviana.in. We are also available in various marketplaces like Amazon, Kind Life, Ecolo, and many more to come. So yeah.
That's amazing. I think we will be putting a link below in our description box, so all the listeners can go and check your website out.
Sure, that'll be like, yeah, we can spread the word.
Yes. It was amazing having you here, and was such a good conversation. And thank you for so many insightful opinions and perspectives. And I think we all have something to go back with.
Definitely. We are going to think about our choices and definitely improve upon them. So thank you so much for joining us today, Vishakha.
You're most welcome, and thank you for casual conversation. It was really nice talking to you all, and really fun. I think it was a fun conversation.
Yes, definitely. I enjoyed.
Hope our listeners too, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yes. And hopefully we can implement these, at least something in our life from what we have, what we have shared on this podcast. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to be great.
With that, we come to the end of this episode. Thanks for listening till the end. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We would also love to know what are your takeaways, so let us know in the comment section below.
Also, don't forget to tune in to our Spotify channel and show some love, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at casually.wise to stay connected for the latest updates. We can't wait to meet you again in the next one. Until then, this is me, Jennifer.
And this is me, Siona. And remember, keep it cash.